welcome to Prosperity Acres homeschooling program. We are going to be coming live to you several times each week through this pandemic to help everybody get acquainted with the farm, ask questions, we'll give you answers. Today, our series is going to start off with Nadia the Wonder Goat. For those of you who don't know, I wrote a book in 2018 with the help of Jacqueline. She and I co-authored this book to teach youngsters about saving the environment with Nadia and her crew of goats. So I'm going to read that to you today. This is dedicated to my grandchildren, Rose, Lily, and Henry. May you always remember your stewardship to the earth and your kindness to animals. To all the children that will read this book, I hope you will enjoy learning about goats and being a kind person to the environment. Hi, my name is Nadia, and I am a dairy goat. I was born on May 27, 2014. When I was 4 days old, Jacqueline, my new owner, whom I call my girl, bought me. It was love at first sight. I sat in her lap all the way home and nibbled on her fingers. When we arrived at her farm called Prosperity Acres, Jacqueline took me inside and gave me a warm bottle of milk. Milk Replacer has minerals and vitamins in it that young animals need in order to grow and be healthy. The day after Jacqueline brought me home, she took me with her to the farmer's market that she and her mother sell products at every week. While Mary talked to customers and sold products, I got to take naps while little children petted on me. For most of the kids, it was their first time seeing a goat in real life. Some of them thought I was a dog. Can you imagine that? Thinking I was a dog. By taking me to public places, Jacqueline has been able to educate people about livestock and America's farming industry. Here I am seen with Rob Harris from 3 Holistic Health of Annapolis. On June 1st, it was part of Lily's first birthday. I like Lily. She was my size. Lily is Mary's granddaughter. I run around the yard playing with Lily and she giggles. She is gentle with me and I am gentle with her. As a dairy goat, I am called an experimental dairy goat, which means my mother was a Nubian dairy goat. She has very long floppy ears, and my father, that's called a sire, was a La Mancha dairy goat, and he has short or no ears at all. That is why I have elf ears. Jacqueline likes to rub my ears and it feels so good. La Mancha goats are the only breed of goat to originate in the United States. We are distinct because we have extremely short ears. La Mancha goats are one of the friendliest breeds of dairy goat there is. We are easy to train and love affection. La Mancha goats can produce about 2 to 4 gallons of milk a day. That is a lot of milk. Do you like to drink milk? Have you ever had goat's milk? Goat's milk is easy to digest, wholesome, and it is tasty. I should know. Nubian goats, also referred to as Anglo-Nubians in other countries, originated in Great Britain. They were imported to America in 1896. Nubians are well known for their very long floppy ears and Roman nose. They are extremely large goats, typically weighing between 130 and 175 pounds at full growth. Do you have a dog that big? Can you imagine? Nubians, like La Manchas, produce high amounts of butterfat in their milk. Butterfat makes the milk very rich and creamy. Again, I speak from experience. One of my favorite things to do is crawl under the fence and wander around the farm, eating the dead leaves and weeds. The goat's natural diet is vegetation. In fact, Mary runs a business called Browsing Green Goats, which I am the mascot. Mary rents out a portion of the herd to property owners, businesses, and government organizations, and the goats eat the unwanted vegetation. Goats love to eat poison ivy, sumac, kudzu, multiflora rose, wisteria, and vines, and many other unwanted vegetation. They also like to climb trees and eat the leaves off the branches. When I go on walks with Jacqueline, I like to eat the leaves off the ground as I go, but I prefer to climb the trees to eat leaves. Jacqueline always laughs at me because apparently it looks silly. I enjoy getting to spend time with people. Being a bottle baby means that I see humans as my companions rather than other goats. I still enjoy being with other goats, but I'd rather be in the company of people. Have you heard of the book 3 Billy Goats Gruff? Apparently, after reading that book, children grow up thinking that all goats are mean. Can you imagine that? Do you see the dog in the distance? I am not at all bothered by that dog and just want to walk with my girl Jacqueline. I am a companion to my human as much as this dog is to his human. Does this face look mean? I am considered a prey animal because if left alone in the wild, a larger animal could chase me down. That is why the pupils of my eyes are slanted from side to side instead of round like a dog. They are slanted because I need to see what is beside me and behind, so I know when to run if something wants to chase me. I am happy when I go to the market because I teach adults and children that I am fun to be around. I don't smell any different than a dog. Besides, I think I'm cuter than a dog. Did you know that how I smell is a concern? I think I smell great, just like the barnyard. People remark all the time that I don't smell. I overheard Jacqueline and Mary talking about it one day as I was riding in the truck with them. They said it is only male goats called a buck that have a bad smell. When I was 6 months old, Jacqueline and I went to the fair where Jacqueline is a member of the 4-H. 4-H means hands-on learning, which stands for head, heart, hands, and health. Jacqueline was so proud we won all these awards. To win the awards, Jacqueline and I had to walk together as if we were in a dog show. I had to behave and stand when she needed me to. The judge asked Jacqueline questions about me. Some of the questions the judge asked were, where are my body parts? And Jacqueline had to show her the parts and where they were. See my awards? I don't get to live inside of the house with my human family because I am not housebroken. That means I go to the bathroom whenever I need to go, just like a baby does, except they wear diapers. I live outside in a barn for shelter because I grow extra hair called cashmere during the winter. I don't need a blanket. Just because you are cold doesn't mean I am cold. As long as I have food, water, hay, and proper shelter, I'm fine living outside. I like to play in the snow with my girl. I found out that when it snows, children like to sleigh ride down the hill. We haven't had any snow this year in Southern Maryland for sleigh riding. I hope wherever you're at, you got to sleigh ride this winter. My girl is one of those children, and she took me sleigh riding my first winter. The snow was cold, but my girl put me on the sleigh held on tight, and down the hill we went. Goats can do many things, we just need to be taught. We are very smart. Mary tells me sometimes I'm too smart for my own good. Little does she know. Jacqueline took me to a garden center in Davidsonville, Maryland to teach the public about using goats to save the environment from harmful chemicals that run into the Chesapeake Bay and kill the ecosystem. I was a big hit, and Jacqueline loves telling people about me and that she is the education coordinator for Browsing Green Goats. Now that I am old enough, I don't have to drink from a bottle and can eat freely on my own. Here we are in front of the Maryland flag made of carnations. It was so beautiful. Lots of people came to see me and learn about saving the environment utilizing goats. Did you know eating unwanted vegetation is my favorite food? We prefer broad-leaf vegetation instead of grass. Here I am participating in a pet show. I won first prize. Can you imagine me, a goat? Jacqueline used the opportunity to share with the audience that she was the Junior Miss Agriculture Ambassador for the Farm Bureau. While we were on stage, Jacqueline told the audience that I play a vital role in saving the pollinators. Pollinators are the bees that fertilize flowers, plants, and crops grown by farmers to feed your family. While she was talking, I was nibbling the pretty flowers. I wish she had let me take the flowers home. The audience loved me, and I couldn't believe how well I behaved. I'll tell you a secret. I was wearing a diaper, so I didn't have an accident on stage. This is what my herd is saving. This bee is called a pollinator. Birds, bats, bees, butterflies, beetles, and other mammals are responsible for bringing us one out of every bite of food. They also sustain our ecosystem and produce our natural resources by helping plants reproduce. That's Emery, our donkey, in the background. If we allow non-native, unwanted vegetation to grow, it chokes out the native plants that feed the pollinators. Also, by using harmful chemicals to clear out unwanted vegetation, destroys the homes of the pollinators and the ecosystem. Please don't spray. Use goats. Maryland is surrounded by water from the Chesapeake Bay. The bay holds more than 8 trillion gallons of water. Rivers, streams, and aquifers supply clean drinking water to millions of state residents. Wetlands, forests, and shorelines provide habitats for diverse plant and animal species. And where does all of that water come from? The 150 or so rivers and streams which dump into the Chesapeake. Also the Atlantic Ocean, which flushes salt water in through the mouth of the bay. It is vital to our environment to be good caretakers and not use harmful chemicals that run into our waterways. Humans, plants, animals, and fish rely on the water to live. This beautiful osprey is another reason my herd eats unwanted vegetation. If we allow the vegetation to choke out native plants and trees, these birds do not have a home. Using harmful herbicides also destroys their homes because it runs into the waterways that run into the larger bodies of water that these birds eat fish from. We must be good stewards of our environment. Humans and wildlife rely on our environment for nourishment. Have a discussion with your parents about how they protect the environment by being good caretakers. I am one of over 50 goats that work for Browsing Green Goats. Here we are eating kudzu along the Chesapeake Bay. The property borders the bay, and the homeowner didn't want herbicides running into the bay, so he hired us. The kudzu was so tasty and high in protein. We don't worry about our girlish figures. We eat everything in sight. But don't be fooled by the old saying, goats eat everything, because we don't, especially tin cans. We also can't eat landscaping plants. They are poisonous to goats, especially azaleas, rhododendron, and mountain laurel. We eat a third of our body weight each day. We sleep a third of the day, and we chew our cud, partially digested food, a third of the day. That is why no two jobs are the same in either time or how many goats go to the job. I love my job among the vegetation, and my girl loves taking pictures of me. I am the star of the show when I'm at job sites. My girl teaches everyone about goats and how we are good for the environment. Even our manure is good for the environment. We have 4 chambers to our stomach. Check out the fun facts page. So whatever we eat doesn't pass back into the environment in a harmful way. That means we are naturally recycle. We eat the vegetation, chew it up, digest it, and then pass it back into the environment as a slow release nitrogen, which is a vital nutrient for the soil. Our hooves penetrate the ground and allow the nutrients to seep in. We help the native trees and plants flourish. That is cool. Does poison ivy bother you? The oil from the plant gets on your skin, and if you are allergic, it causes red bumps. I heard these itch a lot. The oils don't bother me, even when I eat the plants. The oils get on my hair, and when someone touches my hair, they will get the oils on their skin. Jacqueline is so highly allergic. That is why she carries poison ivy soap to wash the oils off of her skin if she comes in contact with it at any job. Here I am at historic Congressional Cemetery in Washington, D.C. The news media wanted a Nadia's eye view of me walking through the woods eating the vegetation. They put this camera called a Goat Pro over my back and under my belly. I received a lot of attention at the cemetery, and I even went to a party to raise funds for the cemetery. The cemetery president, Mr. Paul Williams, hired my herd to clear the unwanted vegetation that was choking out the trees along the wood's edge. The gravestones are so old, they could never be replaced if a tree fell and crushed them. Mr. Williams is very environmentally friendly, and he was happy to hire my herd and to have us at the cemetery. The cemetery is also home to beehives that make honey for the cemetery to sell. This is another reason why it is so important that herbicides are not sprayed in the woods. Herbicides don't stay where they are put. The wind and humidity lift them from where they are and sprayed and carry them to other plants, trees, wildlife, and waterways. Look at me. My picture is on this banner that was hung at the cemetery. I'm famous, and I don't even know what that means. What I do know is I love being everywhere my girl is. I left the cemetery for a day to attend a child's birthday party. It was so much fun getting all of those hugs. People like to rent me for birthday parties, and my girl dresses me in costumes. She always talks kindly and hugs me. I took another break from my job to go to the fair. Here we are at the Prince George's County Fair in Maryland. I strutted my stuff so well we won these ribbons and trophy. I like the smile on my girl's face. My girl missed me while I was at this job working. I hope she knows how much I missed her too. Jacqueline always hugs me when she sees me. She calls me by name and I answer her by bleating. Bleating sounds like a goat saying, "Mama." It is our way of communicating and stop whatever I'm doing to run to her. I am here along the Chesapeake Bay eating vines that are choking trees that could potentially die from the vines. Say no to vines, they kill. We were hired to clear an acre of kudzu in St. Mary's City, Maryland. A student named Brooke was studying environmental science, wanted to clean up the area in a safe way. She wanted the kudzu gone, but didn't want to harm the environment in doing so. Remember, I said kudzu is an invasive plant and was planted to stop erosion once upon a time. Kudzu is extremely invasive and will choke out whatever it decides to grow on. Brooke did a great job bringing her college campus together when hiring us. She gave a press conference to the faculty and to all the students. People meet each other for the common good of the environment. That is why Mary started this business, for people to come together to save the environment and be good caretakers. She learned at an early age it is our responsibility to be good stewards, and she is instilling that in her children and teaching other children at the same time using my herd of goats. I attended the Maryland State Fair with Jacqueline in 2016 while she competed for the Miss Maryland Agriculture title. While at the fair, Mary and I chased the bus that Jacqueline was on, so she would get off along with her friend Sky. Jacqueline was on the bus as a participant of the Miss Maryland Agriculture contest. Boy, Mary is so slow. We almost missed seeing Jacqueline. Mary needs 4 legs. Jacqueline and Sky were both so happy to see me and hugged and talked to me. I love the fairs. I get so many hugs. This was a fun day, even in the rain. Mark Wallop of the Elks Lodge in Annapolis and Senator Thomas Mike Miller met to discuss alternative ways to keep stormwater management ponds clean because of me. Senator Miller is pro-environment and supports environmentally friendly means of cleaning up unwanted vegetation so harmful chemicals don't run off into his beloved Chesapeake Bay. Senator Miller is most impressed with the efforts of the Elk Lodge, that he paid them a visit to take photos with the goats in hopes that others would follow in his footsteps and hire us. He wants others to be eco-friendly to the Chesapeake Bay and surrounding waterways. The members of the lodge sat outside each evening after enjoying their dinner to watch my herd eat. They enjoyed talking to us, and sometimes we talked back. I'm proud once a year to do this project. Save the environment, save the pollinators, hire a goat. Love, Nadia. Nadia truly is a wonder goat. She has taught us so much about the environment and goats that we appreciate all the lessons and her love. She means so much to us that she is always in our hearts. We love you, Nadia. The end. Thanks so much for joining in on this series of Mary Had a Little Farm from Prosperity Acres in Southern Maryland. We'll be coming soon live again and posting more videos for homeschool students. Have a great day.